No more questions.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Midnight Mentor here, guys. Coming at you live from whose living room? Whose living room am I sitting in right now? That's the question that begs the answer. Put it in the chat. Welcome. I'm Justin Chamness. This is the Real Estate Wholesalers Club, where we're all about helping you get to that first deal paycheck or that next deal paycheck. You know, that shut up money where you can tell your haters, those naysayers, those people who are always looking for reasons to make your life less than what you know it can be. Hey, this works. Shut up. All right. Tonight is a special session, Midnight Mentor. We only do this occasionally, just every now and then, because it's midnight right here in Kansas City where I'm at. However, am I really in Kansas City? Am I really in Kansas City? That's the question. Whose living room am I in? Is it in Kansas City? I don't know. We also have a special guest tonight. It's Michael Batista from Automated Rei. He has a update, a new release. He has been working so diligently from his location, remote location in Peru, to bring us an update to the Automated Rei platform. Now, if you don't know about theautomatedrei.com, again, that's theautomatedrei.com. Then if you don't know about it, then go check it out after we wrap up this session. But this is the cheapest way for you as a real estate investor to get your leads. I'm telling you, I've been using it for the last couple of years myself, and you can get started. I tell folks, get started with this, get enough leads to get to your first deal for your first month. Less than $100. Less than $100. Crazy, crazy good platform. So we have a guest, Michael Batista. He's trying to log in from Peru tonight to jump in here. Tusif is here. It looks like Tusif is also part of Automated Rei. He's kind of the workhorse of Automated Rei. He works hard at making that machine what it is today. So hopefully tonight, Michael Batista will be able to log in, and we'll have ourselves a good old time going over some of the new releases to this wonderful platform. Say, Justin, why are you building it up so much? Well, you know, I'm building it up because, sorry guys, I'm checking some social media, making sure we're live everywhere. I'm building it up so much, not because I get referral money or affiliate money or anything like that, because I don't. Okay. But I am pumping it up, right? Because it works. Okay. It really does work, and it's cheap. And if you come to me and say, hey, I want to get started real estate wholesaling, I want to get started doing some lease options or anything of the like, those are the words that are going to fall out of my face is, well, have you been to theautomatedrei.com? Because this place is where you get started. You get leads. You text blast, you scrape Zillow, you scrape Craigslist, you text blast, you get leads. Also, you can buy lists. You can skip trace, okay? And this is the good data. This is good data at like really ridiculous prices. Okay. Hey, it looks like Michael did log in. Michael, what's going on?
Hey, brother. How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Good to see you, dude.
You too. You too.
What living room am I in? Whose living room? Whose living room am I in right now? From TV. I'll give you that clue. It's a TV show.
It looks like Friends. No. Seinfeld.
Seinfeld. Yes, it's Seinfeld. Hey, good job, man.
All
I
right. Was like, oh, that looked familiar. And I hadn't seen a lot of that show, just a handful of episodes really, but that's awesome.
Bump, 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 bump. It's like I love the bass in that. Man, it's such a cool bass. The transition. You know what I'm talking about?
You look like a bass player.
I look like a bass player.
Like a bass player.
Yeah, that's it right there. I really look like a bass player. What's going on? What's going on in Peru, man? How you been?
Doing pretty good. Still a lot of the same though. A lot more restrictions over here than there are in the U.S. right now. So,
are there protesters in Peru?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm just checking, man, because I was like, is this crazy shit worldwide or what?
There's a very, very small Black population here. I think maybe I've seen one or two folks, but I mean, I guess it's just not common.
Yeah.
It's not common.
I totally get why they're doing it, man. It's we don't want to talk about politics too much, but
sure.
It's a wild times we're living in, man.
It is
wild times. But it's not happening in Peru, right?
No, it's not happening here at all. At least not that I know. I live in a good, we're in a good area. I mean,
well, that's good.
Lima is the capital, but there's like 10 million people in the city.
But you guys are still locked down from COVID, right?
Yeah. Ooh. Can't do anything without masks, and no stores are really open, except the grocery stores and the little bodega shops still. So
yeah,
the same. There's no stores. There's no, clothing store. Anything pretty much non-essential is still closed. I mean, you can get your hair cut, which I don't know how they figure that up, but yeah.
Haircut.
Yeah, man. The only reason I got one today. I had my girlfriend find someone to come in the house at the cut hair.
Your girlfriend's not having it, huh?
No, I told her, I was like, I gotta get this cut. It looked ridiculous. Man, how you doing?
My barber went up on his price $5. I'm gonna have to replace him now.
Yeah.
Dude,
you it's looking clean, high and tight right there, man.
Got my ears lowered and everything.
There you go.
Man, that makes you. Hey, does that haircut make you run faster?
It does. It does.
Psychology. That's what it is.
Man, that's great. Hey, here's the question for you, Victor. Whose living room am I in from TV right now? Can you tell? Anybody know whose living room is this? Whose living room?
Yeah.
Okay. Take a look at it.
Okay.
Whose living room am I in?
What's the one with the two chicks and the dude? No. Okay.
Actually, they just had a remake, kind of a second. It's kind of like a second type series.
Okay.
On Netflix, it just released the second season of this. Anybody in the chat know? Throw it in there. All right.
I've seen a lot of TV living rooms in my day.
Okay,
but
y'all want me to tell you the answer? It's
give us a hint.
Okay. Whatever happened to predictability? The newspaper, television, and evening TV.
Family Matters.
No.
Whatever happened to television and evening TV? It's not at Archie Bunker's house. He lived in the dump.
Everywhere you go, everywhere you look, there's a heart, there's a hand to hold on to.
Yeah, isn't that Family Matters? That's Steve Urkel.
No. Full House.
Full House. Okay, I never watched Full House.
Oh, okay, man. They just came out with another series, The Fuller House, and it's kind of like the kids' grown up now. And
Yeah. No offense to anyone, but I'm a black man. I was probably watching, something else. I wasn't watching no damn Full House. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
That's what's that, Futurama?
Well, let's take a look at it. Whose living room am I in?
The Simpsons.
Yes.
The Simpsons.
I figured you'd get this one. Yeah.
Yeah. Now watch that.
Everybody knows that.
Right. Everybody knows that one, right?
All right, guys. We're having a lot of fun. Hey,
I don't
Michael,
know how to do any of
y'all want one more?
Yeah. Let's see what
that. Do another one.
Okay, let's do another one here. All right.
Whoa.
All right, take a look at this one and tell me whose living room am I in?
Shit.
Big time show. Big time show. Check this out.
Man, I don't think I watched that one.
Yes, you did, man. I know you did.
Is it the one with the three ladies? The
Friends.
Is that their living room?
Friends. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Whose house? Whose house?
Yeah. I don't remember, man.
No.
It was the couples, and then it was the other couples, so it was both.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember their name, Chandler and
Yeah, right. First it was Chandler and his girl, the control freak.
Oh, okay.
Remember her? I love her, but she's a control freak. Like she had to be in control of everything. That was part of her. That was her shtick.
They said on chat on YouTube, they said Friends. Placino 83 did. So, but it's got to be. I got to be right.
Yeah. I might have already gave them up by then. I don't think that was early season.
Yeah, must have been a later season.
Yeah, it must have been later season.
This one's a tough one.
Golden Girls.
Oh, you got it, man. I knew you'd get this one too. Golden Girls. Yeah.
I watched the heck out of that.
That's as girly as it gets right there with the pink and fluff.
Yeah. I mean, I've had some good times.
And old school, right?
Yeah.
For sure. They ain't doing that no more.
All right.
They used to try to combine the wicker and the cushions to try to make some living room furniture. That's what that looks like.
I was like 13, yo. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey man, I was watching that too.
That's funny.
I love Lucy, and that was my favorite. Roseanne. I watched all those.
I was gonna throw Roseanne up here next, man. So
that was pretty easy. We should be able to get that one.
Hey, are you guys ready to do a can you share screen? Two Steve's gonna share screen, and you guys show us the new release of Automated Rei and what's going on with that, and what's the new updates and exciting information and all that wonderful stuff.
Yeah, because it looks brand new on the face when you first go in. It looks the same once you get inside, though.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and.
Where's 2C? Where did 2C go so I can know what he looks like? So when he doesn't do something I want. Oh, now I know who I'm gonna be cursing out.
Hi, I'm here.
I'm messing with you.
Yeah, I'm here. Hi, how are you?
What's up, buddy?
2C, you got your camera on?
Yeah, it's on. We can see him.
Okay. Yeah, I got the camera.
Hey, brother, good to see you, man.
Where's 2C at?
Yeah, I am in my home. I'm in my bedroom.
Okay, are you in your living? Are you in your living room too, Steve?
Yes, I am. Yeah. The only thing difference is that it's not a virtual room; it's actual room.
Right.
Well, because
but what city are you in? What city are you in? What part of the world are you in?
I'm in Islamabad. It's in Pakistan.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm in San Francisco.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
You can see the bridge behind you, everything.
Yeah.
That's
I'm sitting
great.
on a hillside in San
Yeah.
Francisco, if you can't tell.
Tucif's over in the capital right now. That's where he lives.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
that's the bridge. I was talking to Dr. Huxtable earlier, and we were talking about San Francisco. You know,
There you go. Right. He's getting phone calls now? No, just kidding.
oh yeah. Well, he don't live here anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, I picked up his house. It was super cheap. I got a hell of a deal.
Right.
I mean, it was like discounted and everything.
Right. He downsized?
Yeah, he downsized. He's in a 6x10 right now.
He's in 6 points.
That's the way to do it,
That's
brother.
wrong.
That is wrong. I feel sorry for the guy, man.
Yeah.
A little bit, you know.
Yeah, a little bit.
Hey, so Steve's gonna go ahead and get the screen. He's gonna go ahead and do a screen share here in a little bit. We can kind of talk about some of the updates right off the bat. I mean, obviously, one of the main things is there's a visual update. Makes it look a little bit more user friendly, a little more colorful, vibrant, a little more modern.
Can I ask a quick tech question before you jump into it? So I've been trying to do Zillow scrapes. And I even had Michael Goolsby on the line with me, and I was having him pull up the same information here in Riverside. I'm in Riverside, California, right? So I have all sorts of saved searches in Zillow with notifications set. And I get notifications all day long for the areas that I have the saved searches. So I know that there's stuff, right? There's rentals, there's, FISBOs and everything. But I went into the system and it wouldn't give me anything. In fact, I did a scrape, which was originally going to return so many searches that I ended up having to load my wallet, only to come back later and find it only had 12 or 14 found. And of those 12 and 14, none of them were, all of them were land, they were mobile homes and land primarily. I didn't get any SFRs. I think I got one SFR, but it was a junker that, with that didn't have any real, like I wasn't interested in. Sure. So what do you think that might have been? I mean, because I know there's stuff, like I live in California. I mean, it should have, even if they wouldn't have qualified price wise or whatever, should have still got numbers.
Yeah.
And then he tried to run the same search over there to see if maybe it was my computer or something I was doing different, because he evidently has used it quite a bit and has pulled up quite a few searches. So he tried to do it and he was getting the same exact results. And I don't know if it's the region or what.
Okay. Let me answer. So I don't know what could be wrong here, but if you can send me the URL from the Zillow which you were searching, I can check that. I can check if there's any difference. Maybe at the time you search.
When
maybe
you say send you the URL from the so the URL is in the system. In other words, I did the scrape. I did a Zillow scrape within the system. The system returned like 14 leads. So instead of just starting a text campaign on some leads that I didn't look at, I started going through them and copying the link and looking them up on on the web. And they were Zillow listings, but they were mobile homes, and I mean they were disqualified. Like they were nothing I could use to do anything with.
What your search was.
I mean, if you have searched some criteria, like you have used some filters, you must have used like property types on our system, price, minimum max bedroom. Can you do a same search on Zillow and then if you can provide me that URL so I can analyze that. Is
Yeah.
The
So
URL for the full search?
yeah, so
yeah,
if you go on Zillow.com and
Yeah,
you
I
type
understand
in,
what he's saying. I thought he was talking about a specific URL, but he's talking about the URL for the search result.
yeah. That's-
yes, yep. So
Mhm.
if you can do that, mirror it exactly like you would on our system, and then we'll cross-reference it just to make sure that everything is the same. If for some reason it's coming up as different, there could be some sort of algorithm change or something of that nature that it's not picking up the right data. And that's pretty
Okay.
consistent with Zillow. I mean, they
Okay,
do.
so I am going to do one right now, just in Fontana. Let me look
Okay.
at some filters.
Okay.
Um,
Sounds good.
home type. I'm gonna just put houses.
Yeah. And are you only having that issue on Zillow that you're seeing?
I haven't tried anything else. I haven't had, I've gotten a little bit frustrated, so I haven't really tried anything else. I haven't done anything with Craigslist because I saw you had a notice on there in red letters about the Craigslist algorithm, so I didn't even bother.
Right. And that's actually, that has been remedied. So
okay, so you don't have the warning on there anymore?
if the warning is on there, we can actually take it down because that has been remedied. So
yeah. Okay,
if you
so
want to mark that down.
when I did the search, I did the Zillow. All I did was Zillow. I did houses. I did let me take a look here. The only thing different, let me see, can I do by owner? Okay, by.
Okay.
Okay, so homes for sale, I guess, would be what I'm looking for, right?
Yes.
And if I go for sale, yeah, will it let me have by owner? Yep, for sale by owner. Okay, and I don't want foreclosed or pre-foreclosed. So basically, that's all I had. I just had for sale by owner, city of Fontana.
Fontana.
Oh, wow. Huh?
Fontana, California, right?
Fontana, California. Well, that was good because basically it came up with no matching results.
Okay.
So it wasn't the system at all. Because
Wow.
I'm on for sale by owner in Fontana. Now, when I did it on the system, I did zip codes, and I did the maximum zip codes. I think is what, 15?
yes, 15.
Yeah, so I did 15 zip codes, going west from where I currently am, and it came up with nothing. So, okay, well.
So let me just kind of explain that. So,
okay,
as far as Zillow is concerned, and
yeah.
obviously that's why we have Craigslist as well to supplement it, or either or, you could do both. When you look at a listing or you look at the listings for Zillow, what you're ultimately seeing is 97%, maybe 98%, even a little bit more than that, of the total listings on Zillow are going to be for sale by agent. It's generally 2 or 3% are for sale by owner, and that's just how the U.S. Has kind of cornerstone the market with realtors. That's just
Right.
It's just what it is.
Right.
Craigslist is obviously still very strong for that. That's why we definitely offer that data, and we'll continue to do so as long as it makes sense. But ultimately, what it comes down to is trying to expand on that skill set. Knowing how to do deals with realtors is going to become very important. I think the more deal types that you can take down, even if an agent is involved, the better. And I'm not sure, Justin, do you teach that in any of your courses? Do you have any material specifically that goes over that?
Yeah, I do. Here's what I find too, that it's in the lease options 2.0 course, but what I find is that the major metropolitans are that way. Sometimes you get on Zillow and you try to scrape, not much there. Some markets are that way. Kansas City is that way, where I live.
Okay.
In Kansas City, though, however, the Craigslist, I could probably pull 1,800 records tonight. You know what I mean? Like,
really, like that?
Yeah. It's like that. It's usually one or the other in a marketplace is really hot.
Okay.
But like Las Vegas, for example, just worthless on Zillow. Some of these other major metropolitan areas, worthless on the Zillow stuff, because it's just, there's not any data there to grab on the for sale by owner side. You know, I can't explain that, but that's reality. I don't know, you know, that's
what it is.
Zillow caters to the realtor you know, to the realtors anyway. It's a realtor type platform.
Mm-hmm.
So
it really is.
I also recommend working outside the major metropolitan areas.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
You know,
yeah.
So I will find in smaller towns, smaller cities, not major metropolitan areas like Chicago, Atlanta, Orlando, Tampa. Okay. Places outside those places, smaller towns, places like Waterloo, Iowa. Okay. Places like Pittsburgh, Kansas, you know, like where Kansas, you know, it's right next to BFE, Kansas. Okay. But it's not BFE, Kansas. So, you know, in those places, I'll get a good pull on Zillow.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's just my experience.
And it's gonna vary greatly from city, state to state. You know, and typically we recommend, if you want to move a deal as quick as possible when you're wholesaling, you want to stay like 1 million population above and up, right? That's traditional wholesaling. That's what a lot of the folks who teach real estate say to stay there. But I mean, you can still establish a good buyer's list in some of the tertiary markets and do very well.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
I try to, you know, I'm actually personally, me and my business is the opposite. Like I really like them smaller towns that have 150,000 or less, or somewhere, you know, 250,000 maybe, you know, anything bigger than that though is starting to be a big town, you know, and that now they got a lot of realtors and brokers coming in, so there's competition there. Those places are coveted too. There's a lot of places to work in those towns, and a lot of them. And so there's people that want to live there. And I tell this story pretty often, but my favorites are these, and I run across them pretty often. In these small towns, there'll be a trailer, you know, sitting on a lot someplace, not in a park, but on lots. And, you know, you'd think in a small town, mobile home on some land of its own, probably not a big time seller. It's crazy. It's crazy. People, all kinds of people want to live in something like that. You know, you just never know until you start experiencing the small town fever. You know, I mean, it's pretty cool that people are trying to vacate the city right now. And that's good for business, you know.
It's just when we have this conversation and you talk about the small towns, and I'm just like, you know, I'm just looking on a map and just picking something, because I have no idea about, you know, where they are, whatever. I guess that's the only thing I can do, because, you know, like you were just talking about Pittsburgh, Kansas, or whatever. Like, I have no clue what.
Well, sure. Yeah. And that's why I said that, because I know that no one listening, probably, unless they're from here, knows what that is or where it is. But because that's exactly where I like.
Drove about an hour from there, so it's kind of funny you mentioned that.
It's like those are the ponds I like to fish in. But there are guys that like to bag bigger fish too. I've got Benton Middleton from Lease Options Only group on Facebook coming on next Saturday, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is Dr. Terrence Brown, Europe's leading entrepreneur expert. But next week will be Benton Middleton on Saturday, and he wants to talk about how to fish for these big mamas in these really, really super hot markets.
Nice.
And so I'm all about it, right? I mean, I'm like,
I'm all over it.
Bring the knowledge.
Yeah.
You're talking about lease options there, that he's gonna discuss.
Oh yeah, doing lease options in those big hot markets. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if y'all don't know him, he's a Kentucky boy like me, and he's just a good old guy. He's just a good old guy. You'll love him. But tomorrow, man, Terrence Brown, he's gonna blow our minds. But anyway, are you fishing in a small town? Or are you fishing in a big place? With the experience you were just describing with not being able to pull on Zillow, is that big city or small town?
Definitely not small town. There's really no small town anywhere within the major counties in Southern California. Until you get into like maybe Kern County, I might be able to do some fishing in Kern County. But even San Bernardino, Riverside, they're kind of really populated now. Our price points are at the $500,000 mark now. So it's a lot. It's considered metropolitan now, even though in some areas it doesn't look like it, but just based on population and movement.
Victor, you are a realtor, right? So you should have no problem reaching out to the for sale by realtors on Zillow, right?
Yeah, no problem.
Have you tried running that side of the Zillow on the Automated Rei?
Yeah, there's a lot on that side.
Okay, so that's where they
of them by realtors. Yeah, if I want to go to realtors, I was primarily folks, just kind of feeling my way through, and that's why I wanted to ask the question. But I don't know if you were on the line with us, but he just had me do the exact same search directly on Zillow and came up with the same exact result. So it wasn't the system. So I'm sorry about all the names I was calling you.
No, man.
I'm messing with you.
No, I was listening in.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess there's a good point here. The Automated Rei, as simple and intuitive as it is, I mean, there's not really a huge learning curve to learn how to use it, actually, to make it work.
Right.
But there's some little tricks to it here and there, and that's one of them. Is that Zillow is not skippy everywhere on the for sale by owners. But there's some other little things there, man. If you ever run into that stuff and you get frustrated, man, throw it on the Facebook group or hit me up direct or something. Because chances are I've already been through that, and I might be able to, simmer you down a little bit. You know what I mean?
You can always give us a call, text, whatever,
Say there.
I want to get something scheduled so we can actually jump on the phone. If we need to do like a screen share or something, we can definitely do that with you if you need. That's not a problem.
Okay.
That's not something that we charge for or do anything of that nature. So we're here to help. Obviously we have quite a few users, but you just send us a message, give us a time that'll work, and we'll make something work for you. That's no problem.
Okay. Appreciate it.
But as far as I know, we wanted to discuss some of the changes. As far as like initial changes on the site, a lot of user interface changes, just look, feel, tone, all of that. It was definitely something that we wanted to kind of bring it to 2020. There are some back end changes as well, and I'll actually discuss some of the future updates that we have coming within a week, and then some other major updates that'll be coming on July 1st. So that way we kind of slate this, and if we move things sooner, because they're ready faster, then we'll obviously do that. But these are kind of the goals that we're setting to make sure everyone understands this isn't an overnight thing, but it is an ongoing process. And as we continue to build onto this, you know, the more features that are requested, the more we need to evolve, then we're going to do that. To Sif, do you want to talk about some of the updates that were done with the new site redesign, and then discuss the updates that are coming in about a week?
Yeah, definitely. So I'll share my screen right now. Okay. So can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yep.
Can as well.
So yeah, so what we basically did with the site redesign, we now have 3 different plans. Previously we only had a pay as you go plan, but now we have pay as you go and a professional plan with $90 a month, and then a business plan with $49 a month. So if you choose a $90 a plan or $49, you would get a discounted pricing, right?
Yeah.
And then, and also with the $49 plan, there's live question answer and live phone calls, access to the Justin private Facebook group, and 6 weekly live calls, which Justin is doing. So you would have access to that as well if you choose the business plan.
Yeah, and let's
So,
talk about that too. So the pay-as-you-go plan is really for someone just trying to get started, you know, get your foot in the door, start generating some leads. You know, maybe you're following us on some of the public shows. You know, you're watching Justin's content, whatever have you. So you come onto the platform, you try it out, you see, okay, I'm starting to get some wheels moving. Maybe I catch pavement, maybe I don't, but I can see that there are some results. If you're going to ramp up from there, now hopefully we can get you a deal at that price point. But when you're looking to ramp up, that's where the $19 a month plan comes in. And there's, I think it's, what did I right here, somewhere around 17 to 33% data discount. So the texting is the same price. That's the same price on all of it. But where you're getting the discount is going to be on your data. So for your Craigslist and Zillow and skip tracing, all of that, we give you a little bit of a price break if you're in at the $19 a month plan. And then the $49 a month plan, basically, if you're looking at that, that's where you are getting access to these live calls, but you're also able to join in on the Zoom calls. So Justin, thankfully, Justin and I have reached an agreement to work together on, you know, on his coaching. And anyone that's subscribing at our plan, $49 a month, would be able to jump on the live Zoom calls with us, you know, do the Q&A, do the role play, and then do the private Facebook group. So that's pretty much the main thing. It's the same data rates that you'd get on the $19 plan, but the main benefit there is going to be, you know, the live coaching calls. So if we can actually break down deals and do everything that Justin does, that's a huge value add. And we wanted to bring that to our customers in some way, shape, or form. So we went to the drawing board and decided that was the best move for us to do there. And then we take a look here. As far as everything listed on this front page, that's pretty much it, what we have right now. Let's go ahead and discuss the information that's coming in about a month. So some of the updates that we have coming in a month. And Justin,
stuff looks good, man. By the way, it's pretty cool looking, sharp. I like
it. I appreciate it, man. No one. I hope no one says anything about Mario Kart. You know what I mean?
Man, that's my favorite part.
I thought that was a little, you know, a little clever there. But what we're looking at,
you're gonna get like a cease and desist letter. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. I hope not.
Why is the first dude in the Yugo?
Oh, that's funny.
He's getting in the car, right? He's getting in the car. He's getting down the road. Now, when he's looking to go a little bit faster, then he gets in the go-kart. And when he's becoming a professional, that's where he's racing down.
I see what you did there.
Formula One,
Yeah.
And then when you really want to get going, you get in the Grand Prix.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. Well, yeah, and that's the thought of it. This is it's a simple business, but people tend to overcomplicate this, right? So there's going to be a level of coaching. There's going to be a level of training needed in some way, shape, or form in most cases. Now, very few people will pick this up and be able to do deals and start doing it consistently without much help. The vast majority of us are going to need a lot more help than that. So that's why we tried to create that, that $49 a month plan. Gives people access to that extra training. We can basically walk them through some different things, and they're able to jump on these calls live with us. It's a difference when they're doing public. They'll actually be able to be kind of in your seat, Victor. In this case, they'll be able to jump on these calls, ask those questions live. And Justin, if you want to talk about what we've got coming down the road here on July 1st, with the closing call services, you can chime in on that with me if you like.
Yeah, that's it's something that Michael and I've been working on. Sometimes folks are great at doing a lot of the aspects of the business, but they feel inadequate on the phone. And so it'll be an opportunity to hire a legitimate phone closer to help you close these people on the phone. Okay. It'll be set up, where it's easy to submit a lead. It'll be easy to, get responses on it, updates, what happened. Call will be recorded so you can listen to it. So you're totally familiar with what happened over the phone when the closer called. Okay. Along with this week, we were, my business personally, we were kind of upgraded a little. We went from being a kind of an independent organization, which we still are, excuse me, independent company here, but we affiliated ourselves with Mr. Claude Diamond and the Guts sales system. So we became a Guts licensee because it's all about giving good phone, ultimately, is what I believe. Getting leads, that's important. Got to have leads, but got to be able to close these deals on the phone. And that's kind of my heart. I love Mr. Diamond. I love what he's teaching. I've learned so much from him. And so we kind of linked up with him and to take our business further and to help take you guys' business further too. So those are the type calls we're going to be making. Okay, guys, this top-notch stuff here we're trying to pull out for you. So yeah, stay tuned. That should come out sometime next month.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll chime in on it a little bit. I don't know if you want to discuss pricing or just kind of give people an idea of what that looks like. Up to you, or if you want to hold off on that.
Yeah, let's just wait because I don't have it in front of me right now, and
okay.
I didn't know we were gonna break that down tonight.
Sure. No worries. But yeah, there's a couple of things. Let's go ahead and talk about aside from the actual closing call services. One of those additional services that we're bringing out is like a VA recruiting type service, right? And that's where the Automated Rei, myself, Tusif, and anyone else on my staff that you guys may not have met. I have a bigger staff than just myself and Tusif. We've got several developers. We've got several other virtual assistants that are working for us as well. But what we are essentially putting together is a VA recruiting service. And what we'll do is we'll negotiate on your behalf the best rate that we possibly can. And you'll pay us basically a flat fee.
Is it like
And-
like 27 cents an hour or something? What are you down to now, man? You've got these virtuals. You're like the king of affordable virtual assistants. So
well, that's going to be part of it. If we can negotiate, an ultra aggressive rate for you, then it's going to be purely pass through. We won't be. I know a lot of other VA companies or virtual assistant companies, what they like to do is buy VA services and then resell them with a markup. We'll negotiate on your behalf. You pay us a fee. We'll go out, we'll negotiate, we'll source that person, we'll screen them, and then go through all the training, at least the basic training of what they need, more or less the fundamentals. If you're using other systems or other services that are outside of the automated REI. So let's say, you're using REI Blackbook, for example, which is a CRM, or push button auto marketer, or any other type of CRM. We'll train them on the basics or the fundamentals of what they need to do, whether it's texting or what to say, what to do, that sort of thing, what to say on phone calls, all of that. There's going to be a couple levels to those VAs. There's going to be your texting VA, your admin task type VA, and then you're going to have another type of VA, which would be your phone pre-screen, your lead screen person, right? So there's kind of, I call them level 1 and level 2 VAs. Level 1 VA does not get on the phone, but they'll do everything else. They'll text them, do everything else for you. Level 2 VA is also trained to get on the phone and talk about, the property and going over that information. So that's a little bit more, that'll be a little bit more expensive on that type of VA, but we'll negotiate that rate down, for you. And then it'll be purely pass through. You just pay us a set fee. We go ahead and train them, get them to the point where they need to be to start helping you close some deals, or at least pre-screening some leads for you, and then you'll be on your way. So if we can negotiate $2 or $3 an hour on a VA from the Philippines, that's a pretty good rate. Whereas if you only need a VA to send texts and do admin tasks, I might be able to negotiate under $1 an hour. So I mean, those are definite opportunities. I'll come in and I'll do that for you.
So let me ask this for clarity's sake. If I'm new in the business, I want to get leads super affordable and get launched, then they hear a guy like me say, recommend going to theautomatedrei.com on the platform, coming like within the next, what'd you say, month?
Yeah, July 1 is when I have that set as a goal date for us.
There will be a service where you guys will hire source. You'll source the virtual assistants and give them some basic training. Now, the basic training, will they be basically trained in how to use the automated REI platform to scrape, text blast, so on and so forth? Because that's what a lot of us want and need in our new business, is somebody that can help do the lead gen while we're trying to do the heavy lifting with the phone or something like this.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's a great question. So we'll train them how to use our system, how to use our platform. Obviously, if you're using another platform, we can only cover so many. We might be able to touch on some of the basics of Podio, but I mean, there's so many other systems and softwares out there.
Yeah.
To cover.
That's completely understandable, because you're right. There's these virtual assistants cannot be masters of all platforms, but for them to be well trained on this particular platform, the automated REI, and how to make it work. So in other words, I could go there, you guys could source a virtual assistant for me that's already familiar with how automated REI works, and all I have to do is give them my message templates, give them my market choice, my market city choices, tell them what the target numbers are, and start working with them. Boom, right out the gate.
Yeah, absolutely. And that'll be well within their scope of possibilities.
Amazing. Good.
You know, so that'll be texting. That'll be texting if you only want a texting VA. If you don't need someone to actually get on the phones for you, you know, I can get those rates, like I said, well under $1 an hour. If I am looking at someone from, let's say, the Philippines, you know, I'm probably going to be closer to $2 to $3, maybe $4 an hour maximum. But the average that I'm seeing is about $3 on what I can negotiate.
So we're not talking about expensive virtual assistants like some other places offer. Like, oh, well, we have trained real estate virtual assistants. They're available to you at any time. Start today. Only $10 an hour. Buy a block of 10.
Yep.
Okay. And it's like, what? I got to buy 10 hours up front. Yeah. And then it's $10 an hour. It's like, okay. And then they ain't no dang better than any other virtual assistants you'd find off the street. You know what I mean?
Sure. And yeah, so that's part of it. So they're going to have the basic fundamentals under their belt, right? They'll know how to do certain aspects of real estate. They'll have canned responses that they can do on the texting. They'll understand different things on, okay, this person said this, I know I have to say this, right? They'll understand some basic how to fill out contracts and send emails and on what that needs to look like as well. So your generic admin tasks.
That's great. Perfect.
That's pretty straightforward.
And then I'm sorry, man. I was going to say, then with the closers being an option,
right.
Man, what a powerful tool. Are you guys seeing what we're describing here? I'm feeling it. It is. Okay. This is some good stuff right here. Somebody could come in the front and, pretty much just get everything that they need to be successful coming through a system like that, because the rest of us spend all our time trying to put that exact thing together.
Yes. Yep. And I'll bridge into what we talked about on our last call, Justin. That is our disposition type service. So basically from a platform standpoint, what we're setting up here, we couldn't quite meet June 1, but I want to have this out by June 15th, middle of the month, where we're activating the submit your deal feature. And that's where, if you're able to get a deal under contract, you'll be able to send that deal over to our closers, and our closers will essentially move that deal for you in that market. It's basically a collaboration of all of the major A players, okay, in really all of the major markets, right? So, we got, your John Jacksons, we've got, your Carlos Reyeses, that's that type of caliber of person. We've got, just really a handful of other people like Pace Morby and Keegley and different folks of that nature. So that's going to kind of put together our disposition type system. And so when you send that deal over, not 100% guaranteed, we can't make guarantees on anything like that. But what we can guarantee is if you're sending that deal over to us, we're reviewing the deal in-house, making sure that, yeah, this is a deal based on the numbers. You did a good job negotiating. We can go ahead and get that to our disposition guys. And they're going to have the buyers lists. They're going to have the folks that they know by right now, right? So if you are trying to transition, maybe you've not done a deal, or maybe you have, but you're not really consistent at closing, this is going to be really good for both sides of that coin, right? And it's really about getting that first first check, the proof of concept is huge. That's why we created this. So this is not going to cost, anything. So we don't have like a cost per se up front for you to send your deal into us and get it to the disposition person. Okay. So that's one of the things we wanted to create is create a pay-as-you-go platform, get your feet wet. You're starting to generate leads. Now maybe you have a deal under contract, you're right there. Now you need some help getting it sold. And that's usually where most people fail, right? So we wanted to create something that essentially bridges that gap, lets you get that first check. Okay, now proof of concept is here. You were able to do your first deal. Do you want to continue down that path of just sending your deals into us and we can go ahead and make sure our disposition guys close them? Or do you want to further train and close them yourselves? That's going to be completely up to you. There's no right or wrong answer. There's just different choices, right? So
you dropped some huge names there working on the dispositions side of this idea that really ultimately allows you to plug and play where your weak spots are. And if dispositions is one of them, you've got these A players that are ready to take the ball, run with it like a JV kind of deal.
Absolutely. And that's wholesale, right? That's wholesale. That's lease options. Subject to, all of really the full spectrum, like Justin talks about. You want to be a full spectrum wholesaler. Well, these guys have those bases covered. Not every one of those is going to do every single deal type, right? But with the network that we've put together, we are going to be able to, regardless, as long as it's in a major area, that's where we got to start first. Kind of like Verizon Wireless cell phone carrier started in the major network, their network in the major areas first. Then they spread out to the tertiary markets. So that's kind of how we have to take this. But as long as you're in a major market, and there's about 100 of them, we're going to be able to move those deals for you. Okay. And as long as it is a deal, right? And as long as you've got the ARV right, or within a certain percentage of being reasonable, as long as you've got it under contract at a certain price point and a certain percentage, is it effectively going to be a deal? And as we analyze it, look at it, we confirm, all the numbers are right in line. Let's go ahead and get that to our closers, or not our closers, my apologies, our dispositions network.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're going to go ahead and take that deal, and we're going to be in as good a shape as anyone to be able to get that deal closed for you. Are you going to give up a chunk of the deal to do this? Yes, absolutely. That's part of the deal. However, the proof of concept is there, and especially if you're able to get that deal done, and if it's infinitely easier for you to start making checks and do deals, even giving up half the deal probably won't matter to you, because you're able to go from 1 deal to 10 deals, just like that. If you're a decent closer, or if you are going to retain, Justin and our services to do VA stuff for you and do the closing, it's basically like an automated business. That's what we're trying to put together here. Put together all of the different branches for you. And that's kind of what I set out 3 years ago when I started the Automated Rei. I had this in mind. What if I could take it from start to finish, put together all of this stuff, and kind of make it like a business in a box? So yeah, there's going to be costs involved, and just like any business, you're not going to get there in day one, and the closing services is not going to be, I'm just being honest with you guys, it's not cheap. But once you do your first deal, or you do 2 deals and you have some money, now you can retain the closer services, and we're able to take that 1 to 2 deals a month to 5 to 10. That's really where you're going to see your ROI and your huge growth, and that's what's really going to come to fruition for you and you're able to escape that job. That's what it all comes down to, right? So
yeah.
But yeah, like you said, it had to be those caliber of guys. It had to be that. And Justin and I have tried to work some things out in the past with other groups of folks that just weren't that caliber, and it didn't work out. So we went back to the drawing board and effectively said, if this is going to work, it has to be them. And thankfully, we were able to form an alliance essentially, and they understand, they see the big picture, and if we can start getting, deals flowing through, they're going to grow. You guys are going to grow. Justin will grow. We'll grow. So it's a big circle. Is really what it all comes down to. It. We all help each other out.
Yes, it's incredible. It's Automated Rei. It's theautomatedrei.com. If you're out there listening and you haven't been there yet, you should check it out. There's subscription levels now that include access to the VIP right here. Also, we're adding, because we're going to be providing the closing services. But before we do that, the lead gen, and you've got the ability to get a VA that helps you with that. Then the closer service, right? Guts license. And then you could pass the ball off to a dispositions team to some of these huge names. Man, have we missed anything? I can't think of anything. I mean, it sounds like the whole kit kat and caboodle right there.
Right. And I mean, there's a couple of holes there. But that's part of this. You can't 100% automate this with just software alone, though we can try. You have to have if you're not a closer, and that's the thing. And I mean this with all due respect, and I absolutely no issues whatsoever. But let's say someone comes into this and English is not their first language. Hell, it might not even be their second language, right? And they're stumbling their way through phone calls, and it's very difficult to when English is not your first language to train for voice inflection, tone, all these different things that Justin talks about, that Justin trains. So you have to essentially, if you can't do it yourself, you have to essentially hire that out. You have to outsource that. Now you can have an acquisition manager, fully train that person, bring them on board. I'm going to tell you guys, it's a very difficult position to do. It's the most difficult position to do in this business. So that's why, Justin and I worked that out to where we want to go ahead and help people bridge that gap and help them do that closer type service, offer that acquisition manager's, closing call. That's really what it all comes down to. What Justin and his team will not do though, and this is where your VA or you will have to kind of slot in, is they're going to call. Your lead has to be pre-screened, right? And they have either texted and or called or both, and have jumped on the phone and made sure, they're flexible on their price. They're willing to take terms or a reasonable cash offer that falls within some form of wholesale type deal. As long as they are, we consider that a pre-screen lead. We'll need other information as well, such as ARV, rental comps, maybe a generic estimate of rehab costs. There's some other things as well. But as long as we have the basic information, then that gets sent on. Justin and his team can go ahead and jump on the phone and essentially close that deal. We'll do the verbal negotiations over the phone, right? That's the most difficult part of this whole business. And everyone knows that. Where Justin and his team can't really get involved though is, once they send the offer, they're not going to be able to continuously follow up with that contract. That would be too expensive to be able to offer as a service. So that's where your virtual assistant or you will have to follow up and make sure that that deal does get signed. And once it's signed, now it's on to you to dispose of, right? Now you can come back to the Automated Rei, submit that deal to us, and we'll get it onto our network, where you can obviously move towards disposing it yourself. So there's levels. You have your lead gen, you have your screening, you have your closing, and then you have your dispositions. And then there's a couple of gaps in between all of those that kind of tie everything together. But all we're trying to do is make that bridge as small as possible, really give you the best opportunity to succeed.
That's a great dream to be realized, to put something of this caliber together, man. So congratulations to you on that as well.
But the Automated Rei wasn't just a clever name.
No, I mean, and that was funny. A guy by the name of Mitch Stephen actually invited me on to his podcast a couple of years ago. And at that point, we were still in development. I hadn't even launched it yet. And he's like, "What are you calling this thing?" And again, at that time, it was just the software. And he's like, "What are you calling this thing?" And I just said, the Automated Rei. I just kind of came up with something. You know what I mean?
It was just random like that?
It was just spontaneous. It was crazy.
Wow.
So
yeah, that's evolved into exactly that, where you're creating something where the REI business is automated completely for somebody.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, guys. You got to look at this as a business. In any kind of business, I don't care what it is, there's going to be overhead and there's going to be different expenses that are involved. And you have to understand that when you're looking at profit and loss statements, a business might make $1.5 million, but they net $400,000. 1.1 million was all expenses. Now they wrote that off artificially, or they wrote that off because that's really what their expenses were. It doesn't matter. That's what they're showing on their taxes. And that's really what you're going to expect here as well. I mean, if you have expenses, let's say you're retaining our services to close the deals, and that's not going to be cheap. But let's say you do all of that, and then you're also having the disposition team do that. You might only net 35-40% of every deal, but is it worth it? That's what you have to understand. If I can do one deal myself, right, and I struggle to do one deal, in a month, that's something you got to keep into consideration. Maybe I do one deal, I make 10K, but what if I can hire all these services and now I can do 10 deals, and maybe I net 4,000 at a deal. I just 4x my my income. I do have a lot of other expenses, but that also works towards my taxes. So there's things you got to keep into take into consideration. So, and that's an entirely different call, but definitely when you're looking at it from a business profit and loss statement, all of these other things are going to come in any business that you're in. As long as you can understand that concept, I mean, then it's a no-brainer. It's purely an ROI. That's why we're all in business, is to make a return on our investment, whether it's through our education or whatever have you. We don't do this for free. We do this to obviously make a profit. So what it's going to come down to is it's definitely going to be for someone that's ready to invest in their business. But as long as you can get over that hump and make sure that you really do want to do this long term, this is the best shot that anyone's going to give, as far as form of automation. And that's what I'm most excited about, because I don't see anything out there that's quite like this. maybe not even close. So that this is the most excited I've been for the platform since I initially launched it. And I'm very blessed to say that, I've seen Justin, and you guys are in the best place possible, because I've seen Justin, and he's been in the business for a while, and he's been a great friend to me over these years. And I thank Justin very much for that, and giving me the opportunity to be in front of his audience. But I've seen Justin grow so much since he has worked with Claude, and his mentorship, and the quality of content that he puts out is just, it's incredible. It's incredible. No one's doing 6 live coaching calls a week. No one's doing role play calls. No one's doing that, right? And that's why I said, if we're going to go ahead and align ourselves with anyone, it had to be someone like Justin, and it had to be the disposition guys like the Pace Morbies and all those other guys I mentioned, the Keeleys, right? So that's, definitely what it comes down to is trying to create a platform for everyone. And I obviously we need to make profit. Everyone's got to make money, but we also wanted to make it affordable. We didn't need to make all of our money off of one particular customer, right? And I think that in any type of business you're in, if you're able to help people first, it's going to come back to you tenfold. And so that's what I'm most excited about.
That is cool. That is cool. All right, guys, whose living room am I in? Who said who said that? Take a look at it again.
No? Yeah, that's Roseanne, yeah.
This is Roseanne.
Roseanne. Yep.
Or formerly known as Roseanne. What is it now? They got an offshoot show. What's it called?
I think it's the Connors, isn't it?
The Connors. Yeah, that's right.
The Connors. Connors. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, my keyboard went out.
You guys are pretty good with this. Oh, no kidding, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
You guys have done pretty good with these living room, trivia tonight.
Trivia.
Yeah, they are.
That's funny. Got lots of people watching, and we appreciate you out there watching, guys. I know it's late all over the country. It's almost midnight on the West Coast, and we got a lot of chat. It's great tonight. A lot of chat everywhere, and I appreciate everybody that's watching. Mr. Thinker, hey, good to see you again, man. Debbie, good night. We probably ought to sign off. We've been here for an hour or more, actually almost an hour and 20 minutes. So I really want to say thank you to everybody, but especially Tusif. Thank you, sir, for taking your time to be here.
No, my pleasure. No problem.
Good, man. Hey, man, we really, really appreciate you being around here and the help that you offer the guys in my VIP club. I really, really appreciate it. We don't pay you anything out of the VIP club to do that. You just do that because you care about your platform and you care about making sure that people get what they need. And man, much respect to you for that. Thank you so much for being a part of that. And Michael Batista, thank you, sir, man. All the kind words you said about me and everything. I'll pay you just like I always do. I'll send it directly to your PayPal. No, I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
That's part of your expenses.
Yeah. Well, it costs. It costs money. So I'm trying to.
I was noticing something too. You married up, huh?
Who, me? You talking to me?
Yeah. I saw your wife on the group.
Yeah.
And so I was like, is that his wife? And then I was like, oh man, he married up.
Yeah, I've been married. I've been married for a while, man.
I'm just messing with you, man. That was a compliment to your wife.
Hey, man, she is something else. I'll tell you that. She's better than I deserve.
Right.
Probably. That's what I'll just say. Probably.
Yeah, that's great. That's great, though, man. Yeah, you guys make a great, handsome couple.
Hey, thank you very much. She's the pretty one. And she's so sweet, very supportive. You know, this is my second one. You gotta, you know, some of us guys, we gotta go out there and mess one up before we know what we're doing at all, and we can make one work. Not make the woman work. I mean, make the marriage work.
Right. Or both.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, if we're going to be honest, I mean, you know, it takes two, right, to tango. Yeah, the first one I messed up, but this one here, I tell the story about how she found me, man. She found me. I was on the bottom. I mean, just sucking mud, and it's just really just like an angel. And I looked up at her and I was like, oh man, I don't want to admit it, but I think this is the one. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I played that game like, you know, like I wasn't all that into the, you know.
Right.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
but thank God she put up with me, man. Hey, I appreciate you saying that. Nice stuff, man. You get me talking about. I love my wife. Thank you for talking about her. Yeah. Anybody got anything else? You know, we can wrap up here if not. But yeah, anything else we want to talk about? I see somebody here. It's Ty's computer. I don't know who that is that popped into the Zoom room here, but I was hoping maybe there was somebody that had something they wanted to say. But anyway, thanks for joining us tonight. And thank you everybody out there that might be watching. We're just, we are realestatewholesalersclub.com. Go check us out. We are all about helping you get where you want to go in a real tangible way. Like we actually talk to you. Okay. We actually want to help you. We actually provide you with some free training and some free agreements over there on the website. Go check it out. And also, while you're surfing the web, go hit up theautomatedrei.com, where Michael Batista and Tusif have put together a wonderful system, and lots of updates coming out on that. Victor, what were you going to say, man? You were going to ask him about what?
No, about your little puffy stick.
Oh yeah. That's
that you be keeping all undercover, like you know, like they can't nobody see it.
Fruit punch.
Right.
It's fruit punch.
Right.
It's fruit punch. That's what it is.
That's how they get you with the flavors. Well, you have to see the commercials.
Oh yeah, man. You're totally right. Like yeah. And what's crazy is there's just ridiculously expensive. It's like it's a fad, I think. I hope it's a fad for me.
Right.
Anyway, all right, guys. Now I feel all convicted and bad now. like I've been busted. Like mom, I hope my mom isn't watching this shit and everything.
Now she knows.
I'm sorry, Mom. Pray for me, Mom, okay?
Hey, thank you guys. This was an awesome night.
All right, love y'all. Have a good one.
Thanks, Michael. We'll see you guys.
Yep, you're welcome, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Take
Mike.
care.
Thanks, buddy.